For those of you who probably have seen Monster Musume or Everyday Life with Monster Girls on Crunchyroll, like I have, some people are wondering if this is ever going to get English dubbed. Because last summer, Semtai Filmworks, which is a dubbing studio here, acquired the rights to license it on home video here in North America. And Semtai Filmworks does some pretty good dubbing. I have some Blu-rays that are by the studio, such as High School of the Dead and Persona 4. And I've even met Semtai Filmworks voice actress Caitlin French, and when I was at a convention with her as a guest earlier this year, we talked about her career and stuff, and she mentioned in one of her panels that she hopes to get cast as one of the two girls from the show when the time comes to English dub it. She says she wants to either play Sue, which is a slime, or Poppy, the harpy, because she is more known for playing little characters in there like kids or like anyone with a high-pitched voice. She's able to pull that off. We did more discussion on that, and I'll have the link to the video up here in the corner. You can check it out since I recorded the entire panel. It was brought up about how kind of popular it was, and I've had some fans that I've been at conventions tell me that they like the series, they have to see more. I've seen some cosplayers as well. Yeah, I would like to see this English dubbed. I mean, I enjoyed the Japanese for what it did. Makes it feel authentic since it takes place in Japan. You know, I get that point. But since we live in North America and most of us don't understand Japanese, English dub is pretty easy for us. Me personally, I'm kind of like a fan of both. Like, I watched other shows in Crunchyroll that are, of course, you know, subtitled. And then there are those that are in English, and I like that, like Kuroko's Basketball. They have a character in there that's American, and even in the Japanese dub, when the character comes in, she's speaking English, and they have Japanese subtitles for it because the character, of course, is speaking her native language. And eventually she talks Japanese and goes, oh, I studied it. And that part, I am for the Japanese audio. Now, in the case of Monster Musume, I'm hoping that English dub does happen. I like how it's piqued my interest enough for the characters. It's interesting because there's not a lot of shows out there that have, like, you know, half humans, you know, characters in there. I mean, they, of course, they're supernatural and stuff, but in the context of harems, it doesn't happen often. I think this may be one of the first most popular harems featuring half-human girl characters. To my knowledge, there might be some others, but Monster Musume right now at this point in time is possibly the most popular one. I kind of liked the Centaur, Sentra, as one of my favorites because she is the one who seems to be like the least likely to kill you, even though she does have quite possibly the biggest strength out of all of them. The mermaid will just drown you accidentally. Mia will just accidentally crush you, and Rachna will probably just strangle you. And that's another thing about Rachna is, you know, she's a spider woman. Now, me, up until this point, I've always been afraid of spiders, and even Caitlin French, in the panel I filmed earlier, I've asked that, I bring that up as Rachna, like, getting to know her and the character as a spider woman character, has that kind of like adjusted your fears of spiders, if you have any? And she said yes, she does. She talks about a personal story involving a black widow. Now, me personally, I still have arachnophobia, like a little bit, because I even saw that movie, Arachnophobia, back when I was a kid, and for like a 6-year-old, it kind of scared the shit out of me. And eventually, even though I heard it was just a comedy, and I'm a big fan of John Goodman, but I still refused to watch that movie because of all the other stuff. And even though it's kind of considered to be a dark humor comedy. And I saw Monster Musume, was interested in Rachna because I was interested to see like how she would be as a spider, you know, human character. And would she be, you know, like more threatening? Would she be just usual self? But no, she actually seemed just good-hearted. She was just tired of being feared by everybody from arachnophobia, and she felt, you know, unwelcomed. And I can understand that. That kind of got me a little bit more, you know, respectful and appreciative of the spiders. As a matter of fact, come here. Now, I've had this spider in my bathroom for a little while, and I've been meaning to get it out, but then I saw what it's been doing, and it's been catching a lot of ants for me. So I actually chased one ant over to it because the ants kept getting in my sink. So instead of flushing out, I had an idea to chase it into the web. And sure enough, my plan succeeded. The spider was hiding behind the mirror, and then it felt it and took the ant with it up to its hiding place. Now, you can see it's catching one already. You can see at the bottom of it, and in the corner you see 3 of them. So the spider is actually pulling its weight around. Now, I've told like my friends and my mother about that particular spider that's in my bathroom, and my cousin, yeah, just leave it. It's doing its job. It's getting rid of ants for you. You know, I don't know where they're coming from, but at least they're getting rid of it. So far, it's killed like maybe 5. I mean, yeah, about 2 of those 5 ants I kind of chased into its web territory. They just went and got it. Watching and getting to, like and understand Rachnia in Monster Musume kind of quelled my fear of spiders a little bit, although it's still there, just not as bad as it used to be. I mean, if pre-Monster Musume viewing Dan were to go and see that spider that I have in the bathroom, I would probably be all GTFO! I mean, that spider's not exactly in my way. I mean, it's in a corner, and I don't really use anything near it, so as long as it leaves me alone, I'll leave it alone. And I'm sure the Monster Musume fans have kind of like developed fantasies, of course, like as if with most anime shows. They develop waifus and they want to know like how they could have a relationship with a half human, half whatever it is. And I've seen, body pillows of Mia at San Japan earlier this year, and I saw a post online of someone said that they bought the Mia pillow and it was being dragged on the floor while they were carrying it. I mean, granted, it's like, what, over 30 feet long or something, and someone thought you should respect Mia more, or at least take better care of that, pillow. And I think they did eventually, because when they got into the elevator, they had no choice but to kind of wrap Mia around them while they went up to their hotel room with her. Now, having said all that, the fandom of the show is there, and it would probably do well if it was English dubbed and released by Semtai Filmworks, since they acquired the license last summer. And normally, voice actors, since they have always a lot going on, are always doing multiple shows at once. Eventually, I think Monster Musume will get on the plate of some of the Semtai Filmworks voice actors. And I don't know right now when it's going to happen. They haven't said anything yet, but they do currently have the license to the show in North America. So we'll see what happens. And in the meantime, this is Dan, and I have no objections to the potential English dubbing of this show. And for those who prefer subs, they'll most likely will keep it for you as well. Thank you all for watching.